Welcome to Blender Frenzy. I am Justin, and today we are finishing the teeth with the jaw. Last time we just did the top teeth, and so it's going to be the same exact thing that we did with the top teeth, where we made the loop cuts, then we extruded the gums, and then we extruded the teeth, and then we slowly started adding some more geometry. So really just like the top teeth, except for we're doing it with the bottom jaw with slight modifications. And then, of course, we reproject and then add in the same material for the top teeth. And then with the skull, it looks like this. And as always, you can go to my website, go to the freebies single downloads, and download the starting file for this series. Or you can go home and either become a Frenzy, we've got multiple tiers, or purchase my new Blender VFX course, which uses the Terminator skull for VFX head tracking on your own head. The course is also available at blendermarket.com, so you can get it there as well. But now let's get started modeling the bottom teeth. Okay, so here's what we have so far. Last time we did the top teeth, and this is what they look like. And we're going to do the same exact thing for the bottom teeth on the jaw. Let's get started. I'm just going to hide the skull, and then let's take our jaw, duplicate, just like I normally do, send to backups. Okay, so the first thing, if you remember from the last video, we need to line things up here according to the teeth. So we've got a lot of stuff to do here. Let's see. Let's take this along with proportional editing, and let's go into our split mode here actually, so we can kind of see what we're doing in the front. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to go to G to grab this, pull that back, just line it up a little bit better with the back of the tooth here, and also maybe in here, see what that looks like. Yeah, it's not too bad. One thing I did forget to do last time is extrude this piece out, this little pyramid shaped piece. We can do that at the end if we have time here. So I'm just gonna bring this down and then maybe take this one and pull it up, just lining up a little bit better with the shape here and here. Another thing I noticed is that there's a little dip here. Looks kind of weird, this kind of going down here. And this looks thinner than over here. And actually, let's look at inside here. So let's pull this out a little bit just to make this a little bit thicker. Take these, oh, not in proportional editing. Scale them on the Y, and this is in global mode, 0, so that that's flat, and then grab on the Y and pull that out a little bit. And then let's do X-ray here and just rotate them on the X just to line it up like that. Okay, and then we can bring these out on the Y a little bit, just trying to flatten this out a little bit, make this a little bit thicker, and then take this and slide that with a double G. Okay, and then maybe take this edge and grab it and pull that up a little bit like that. And maybe we can take these, pull that up a little bit too, just to level that out just a little bit. Okay, I think that lines up pretty good here. Let's go ahead and save it. I'll duplicate this and just before I make any sort of major changes. Okay, and so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teeth, just like the top, and we can start adding loop cuts here. What you can do if you want to make this a little bit more straight, you can press E for even, which makes it not quite as straight, but then you can press F to flip it, and then it's a little bit more straight on. I'm going to do it right in between the teeth. So we have this face that would be extruded upwards for the tooth. And we'll do the same thing here, except for I think this is already going to be enough for the tooth, but this is way off here. So let's see what we can finagle with these edges here. So maybe just take this edge and yeah, kind of pull it up and around and down like this maybe. And we can also rotate it on the Z to straighten that out. Oh, and then pull it up too, so it's more even there. Okay, and let's go into, oh, actually I can just press 3 over here and go that way. And now we can, okay, so that, see that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 1 and 2 are basically right here, which I can pull this up even a little bit more. Rotate that here. And I wonder what would happen if I just slid this a little bit along here like that. Let's see what happens in front mode if I do that. That is better, so we'll keep it like that. Now we want to do in between each of these, so we can do a loop cut here. Okay, Justin from the future here, and I'm going to show you a better hack than what I had originally showed. So in order to add a loop cut that goes all the way around, so if I start adding a loop cut here, because of the way we modeled the geometry initially, it's not going to go all the way around. So I'm going to click to set this and slide it a little bit over here like this. We're going to do it again, Control R, and it's going to go a little bit further, but we're going to click and drag and then set it here. And then I'm going to do one more time, and now you can see it goes all the way around. It's just got to recognize the geometry as it goes. And again, this is specific to how I modeled it already. You're gonna have to play around with your own geometry to see what works for you. But now that I have one that goes all the way around, now I can just take these loop cuts with Alt click and then Shift Alt click this one so that those go all the way around, and then X dissolve edges. And now Alt click this one, double G to slide this over here. And we're gonna look to make sure it's going in between the teeth right here. Okay, so now I can do it again. Control R, click, and it goes all the way around automatically this time because we've already have the geometry set up the way we want it. So line that up here, Control R one more time, and line that up here, just going in between the teeth. Let's check it in front mode as well. Maybe we can double G to slide that just a bit and take this here as well. And maybe we're just gonna have to compromise here, of course, because it's different pictures. But there we go. That is the easiest way to add those loop cuts. And now we have the 6 faces that we need to start extruding out the gums and the teeth. Okay, and before I extrude teeth, we're gonna actually include all of the ones on the side here. And we're gonna E to extrude those out a little bit, and that's going to be for the gums. And even though they're kind of going up above the gums, we can always fix that later. Okay, so let's duplicate this and back up, save it. And now we can extrude the teeth out. So let's take just the middle ones here, and then I to inset. And if you see something that looks like this, press I again because we want to inset individually. And we just want a tiny bit, so something like that. And then we E to extrude down a little bit. S to scale. And remember, we want to make sure we are on individual origins for scaling that. So scale that down a little bit. And then we can E to extrude those up. But I'm going to right click and cancel that because I just want to go straight up. So G and then Z, and I'll pull those all straight up like this. Okay, let's check that in the side here. And what we can do is I'm going to unselect these, just shift select and it'll unselect those. I'm going to take the tops of these and just rotate them a little bit so that they're a little bit more flat, and then we can actually grab those and pull those down, and we can maybe just do that one at a time. You know what? I'm not going to pull those down all that much because I forgot the gums are a little bit high, so um, we'll pull everything down after we shape them up a little bit. Make them a little bit more even here. Pull this one up. Let's go to front mode here. Yeah, I'm just going to match it with those again. Luckily, because they are teeth, it doesn't matter all that much, but the more we make them even or in the shape that we want them to be while they're just these simple cubes, the easier our life is going to be when we start to manipulate them with more geometry. So we do want to maintain somewhat of a simple shape, simple even shape here. So this is, I'm just double G to grabbing them. Now you can't do it going out. I thought there might have been a way that I could pull it out that way, but I just have to press G. You can only slide it along edges that actually exist, so they don't exist going out this way. But I can double G to slide them in. And they get thicker as they go back, of course. So something like that is okay. And let's see what we have in subdivision mode here. There we have these round mounds or udders coming up, and we don't want that. So now is when we start shaping these. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. Let's take these here. Maybe not. Let's do proportional editing here. Scroll way down. There we go. I can kind of squeeze those together. I'm going to start doing the same thing actually with these. Just pulling them kind of closer to each other. And we still have something that looks like this, but now we will go ahead and add some more geometry. I know, maybe this is superfluous. I'm saving too many of these, and I know it makes my blend file bigger, but it's worth it. To me, it's worth it. Okay, so just like we did with the top teeth, let's take these here, I to inset those. And again, if you see something that's all like connected like this, just press I again, and then we will do that. And then we will take the edge on all of these here. Just shift select the right edge or left edge in this case. And now we can just double G to slide those, and then it recognizes this well enough that we'll slide all of them. So it saves us some time. I'm going to do the same thing with the right ones. Double G, slide that. So we have something like that that looks more squarish. We want to delete the faces that are up here because this is where the loop cuts are going to go up towards the teeth there. So delete those. And now we have to do the same thing on the back here. So let's take these, I to inset, take these, double G to slide, the other ones, double G to slide, and then take the top faces and delete them. Okay, it looks like I have something sticking out over here. What is that to? Okay, so that's that. I'm just going to take this face and pull that out a little bit, maybe with proportional editing. There we go. Okay. So the reason we did that is so we can add in a couple loop cuts going like this that will then connect to these here and these here. But before I do those loop cuts, I'm going to do the loop cuts going across first. So we're going to do loop cuts like this. I'm just going to do 3 of them, I think. So we'll do that on all of these. And the reason I'm doing it on all the teeth is because we can actually Alt-click and select these, and then Shift-Alt-click to select the corresponding ones on the other ones, and then double G. I don't want to be in proportional editing, and double G to slide that up. This is just going to give the teeth more definition. Then I'm going to take the bottom ones as well, double G to slide those down. And you can see what that's doing. It's giving the teeth more definition by sharpening the edges. And then for the middle one, I'm going to take these, and maybe these two because they are sort of facing the same direction. And then I'm just going to G to pull those out. Something like that. Because teeth are more curved than you would realize. They're not all flat. Just kind of pull them out a little bit of amount. So the molars don't really bend, but these do. Okay, so that is without our overlays. You can see what's happening there. And we'll get to the gums here in just a moment, but we need to add in our other loop cuts. So let's do that. Out of subdivision surface again, Control R, scroll up, left click, right click. I probably should have said that earlier. Control R, scroll up, left click, right click, Control R, scroll up, left click, right click. And I probably should have messed with the top of the teeth before I did that, but oh well. What I should have done here is select these, and I can select these by shift selecting to select multiple, and then Control to select the whole line, then shift, control, and on and on. So it's not terrible. And then make sure we're in individual origins again, scale those in a little bit. And then just make sure they're kind of going in the same direction. I'm just going to C to circle, select middle to deselect those. So we can just G to grab those. We're going to just move these in, you know, the direction that they kind of should be going. Those are pretty flat, so that's fine. But now we can connect these edges over here, or at least these vertices. We can just click and drag, and I am not in tweak mode. I need to be in tweak mode. Click and drag, Control to snap those. Make sure you are in vertex snap mode and that your auto merge vertices is on. You can also find that here, just so you don't have duplicate vertices in one place. So now that's just one vertex. Okay, and the same thing, I'm just going to go around and connect all of these to their corresponding vertices. Okay, there we go. That's all connected. And why did we do that? So that we could have more geometry on the teeth, but then we didn't have a whole bunch of lines coming down into the jaw because it's just unnecessary geometry. Okay, so what does that look like? Okay, and let's turn off overlays. All right, we are starting to shape these, I think, pretty well. And if we look at our front mode, they're lined up really well towards the teeth. This is actually better than my practice. What is here? Okay, yeah. They're going to be higher here anyway just because it's a different picture, but it's not looking terrible. But we need to deal with the gum issue here. So let's do that. And essentially it's just, okay, shift select the two middle ones on the top here. Okay, and then let's go to normal transform orientations, and then G and then Z, and then that's going to pull those down along the direction that the face is facing. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing, but the opposite with the ones in between. These are a little bit harder to select. G, Z, and then we're going to go up like that. And we can take a look at what that looks like. Okay. And I think the only other thing we need to do, I think I'm going to do one thing first. Let's take this loop here, double G to slide that down. And then let's take these here, because we want to have the gums be a little bit more prominent. So double G to slide those down. Okay. So now you can kind of see that here. And now if I just take these faces in here, and then we can also GZ and it will pull those out along those faces, and you can see already what that is starting to look like. Now that might be that might be too much. GZ, we can look at it like this, and there looks okay. Let's just take these two and then do the same thing and pull those in a little bit more. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay. All right, just a couple more things here. We can take the loops here. Nope. Take these loops and S to scale those out a little bit. And I don't care really if they overlap here, because they won't when we have the subdivision. And let's do the same thing with the bottom ones like this. And again, make sure you are in individual origins, otherwise you're going to get some kind of weird results probably. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, and then I think just taking this whole line here. There we go. Just to make those like molars a little bit more molary. Well, let's take this line and then this line, and then in proportional editing, just grab and pull those out a little bit, because those molars should be a little bit bigger. Yeah. All right. This is actually shaping up to be pretty good here. We're going to even some of these out, but that's okay. And actually, let's select the middle here, and then with proportional editing, I'm going to scroll up pretty big and then just kind of crunch those down a little bit, and then maybe pull these two back up, and not the gums. And if you select two teeth like this, and then the other ones that are not selected are following along, just make sure your proportional editing has connected only checked, because if not, then it's going to move stuff that isn't connected to it as long as it's in proximity. So just make sure to have connected only if that's what you're going for. Okay, let's save it. Let's look at it in this view. Oh, it's way too pushed back. So let's take, I think, the front of these. I'm just going to grab these and kind of pull them in, and then maybe take these, pull them out and down like that, which might look strange here, but it does look like that here. And when it's combined with the top teeth, I think it'll be fine. Same thing here. Let's just pull this out. Let's kind of do something like that. There we go. And same thing here. And then these. Yeah, not too bad. We can take the back here, maybe all this. There we go. I shouldn't do too much in proportional editing, as long as you don't do too crazy moves from the original. Okay, and then the last thing I want to do here is extrude this little pyramid guy. I think that's going to be, let's see, from here to all the way here. So let's just try that. I'm going to I to inset first, and then I again, so that's all one. And this is so that when we extrude, we can give it a little bit more definition. But I'm going to extrude out like this. Scale Z and 0. Except for that's not working. Why is that? Is that because of the proportional editing? Scale Z 0. Okay. Well, let's do scale Z 0. There we go. And then we can just rotate it over here and line it up with this guy like that. Okay, and of course, in proportional editing, it's going to round it out too much. So we need to define this going down towards the bottom and then towards the top like this. And now you can see that's much better. This looks a little bit wonky here. Let's maybe even that out a bit. Okay, so that's good. Maybe we can make the thickness to these a little bit more prominent with the proportional editing, and we can pull that out. Oops. Well, maybe we can just take all of these. Just make that a little bit thicker, which I think I like. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let's see what this looks like. Well, let's save it first, and let's see what this looks like with our skull enabled. Oh, we need to turn our mirror modifier back on. And we probably need to fix this with our clipping as well. So we've got clipping on, but we've got this. So let's actually look at that here just a second. So no, real time. And okay, mirror modifier off. Yeah, let's take this edge loop here. I'm just going to pull it back on the X. Turn off proportional editing, grab XX and pull that back just a little bit so that we can turn this on, grab XX and pull that back in. And we might have to do that out here as well. So grab X, pull that in, there we go. And then we can pull that down. Oh, no, we are right there. Why is that still doing that? Ah, okay, but those are the teeth, so that's fine. You know what? Okay, here is a trick that you can do that we might need to do sometime anyway. We're going to take these and then Control Plus, which we've done before, but I'm just going to hide those so we can see what's going on over here. Undo the mirror modifier for now and not sub D. So let's see what we've got here. Oh, right. Okay, we just need to delete these faces. Take this and we can slide that in. And now I take this face and pull that back. There we go. Yeah, and then we can connect that. Okay. Cool. No more pinching. And then, are we in object mode? Nope. We're in edit mode. So Alt H to unhide everything. There we go. And then let's see. Let's turn off clipping for now. These are too close together. So grab those. Just so they don't clip, this will be easier when we don't have a mirror modifier on anymore. We can turn clipping back on. And hopefully that didn't, yeah, that's okay. It's okay for now. Okay, so now we can save it. Go into object mode and enable the skull, and let's go see what we have here. Haha! And that lines up actually pretty good. Of course, the teeth are still metal, and if that's what you're going for, then there you go, job well done. Except for, even if you do have the metal teeth, we still have to do our UV editing and reproject, because if we select everything, you can see our jaw. This is in the side. Let's go click the front UVs. You can see they don't have our teeth yet. So in our camera front, with our front UV map selected, hover over here, U, project from view, and that should change our UVs here and add the teeth. And so then that's what this looks like here. So for the metal teeth, you can have that. But I want to take these teeth and add it to the material we have for the upper teeth, so it's pretty easy. Let's just select the teeth. Let's hide the skull here for a second. Okay, and then Control plus till we get all of the teeth. And then let's go to our data tab, add a vertex group. We'll just call this teeth again, and click assign so that we can select or deselect just those teeth. And then of course we have to come here for our jaw and then click plus. And this time, instead of clicking new, we can add in our teeth right here and then click assign for those teeth. And now when we come back over to material preview, we can see that the teeth material has been assigned, and then we can look at the skull, and voila! We have our skull now with human teeth, or humanoid teeth, which is what the Terminator would have had, or did have, I should say, in the movies. So there we go. This could probably be pulled in a little bit with the jaw if we maybe just select some stuff up here. Or maybe just back here, really. Grab that and pull that. Yeah. So it lines up more with those. Perfect. Okay. And if you don't want these teeth to have a gap in there, you can always bring these up and these down. And another way we can save time selecting these is we can make another vertex group and then just say teeth, jaw, top faces, and then assign those to that so that we can just come here and select them at any time, and then we can just pull those up. I don't know if that's going to look weird or not with the bottom teeth being that big, but it's just personal preference really at this point. Yeah, no, actually I like that better. Okay, so let's save that, and here is what we have. We are well on our way to making an awesome, menacing Terminator skull. We still got quite a few things that we need to do on this, but we're getting there. It's shaping up to be a pretty good skull, don't you think? Okay, so anyway, in the next video, I'm not entirely sure what I want to focus on. We might do the gears here. That's pretty easy. But then what we want to do is kind of start extruding inwards these holes here and these back here. And then classically, obviously, in the Terminator here, we have this iconic disc shape here and these shapes up here. So we can also take the time and do that. And then, of course, we need to do the eyes eventually and these pistons that are coming out of the mouth, which are pretty easy. And then after we have all of that built, we need to add our in our own metal textures. And we can do that a couple of different ways. We can add our own procedural textures. We could do a mix of our own procedural textures plus the images that we already have. So we can kind of blend it in, and that would be, in my opinion, enough transformation for it to be your own, so it's not copyright. But don't quote me on that. I'm not a lawyer. You need to figure that out. But we can do all of our own procedure materials, and then we can also bake our own materials afterwards, so that after we get the material looking that we want, it's baked across the whole thing to make it ready for export in a game or something like that. So there's still a few things left to do, but when you are ready and when the video is out, you can head on over to the next one and continue on with the Terminator skull.